Good morning and welcome back to the thought of the day. Today we're going to finish chapter 2 of the book of Habakkuk, and we're going to finish God's answer to Habakkuk as well. Let's jump right in. We are reading from verse 15 to verse 20, the end of the chapter. So this is continuing on from God kind of saying, actually, the Babylonians and possibly Satan are going to get what they deserve. Their end is coming, and it's only going to be me left. So God carries on from verse 15. Woe to him who gives drink to his neighbours, pouring it from the wineskin till they are drunk, so that he can gaze on their naked bodies. You will be filled with shame instead of glory. Now it is your turn. Drink and let your nakedness be exposed. The cup from the Lord's right hand is coming around for you, and disgrace will cover your glory. The violence you have done to Lebanon will overwhelm you, and your destruction of animals will terrify you. For you have shed human blood. You have destroyed lands and cities and everyone in them. Of what value is an idol carved by a craftsman, or an image that teaches lies? For the one who makes it trusts in his own creation. He makes idols that cannot speak. Woe to him who says to wood, come to life, or to lifeless stone, wake up. Can it give guidance? It is covered with gold and silver. There is no breath in it. The Lord is in his holy temple. Let all the earth be silent before him. So God is continuing to show where actually the Babylonians' way of life is so skewed, and that soon they will see and experience the flip side to the way they've been living. They've been trying to bring glory to themselves by getting people drunk, but now they're going to be drunk and be shamed. They have been violent, but they're going to be overwhelmed. They've destroyed things, that they're going to be terrified. And then this last section, so from verse 18 to 20, talking about idols. What use is an idol? Can it give guidance? Woe to him who says come to life or wake up. There's no breath in it. The Lord is in his holy temple. Real guidance, real life, and all the earth should be silent before him. And, we've talked a number of times about putting our trust in God. That means following God even when it seems like he's doing something that doesn't make sense, that is strange. That's when you are tested in your trust and faith. And that it takes bravery and courage to do that. But actually also, when we put our trust in God, we need to put our trust only in God. It's not the same as, I trust Charlie, and I also trust my mum, and I also trust David, and I also trust the bin men to come on time, and whatever else. There's loads of things that I put trust in, but this is a completely different layer of trust. We cannot put our trust in God, cannot put our faith in God and put it in idols, because one of them is real and one of them is not. We can't have both. Either we put our trust in the idols, and here obviously the examples are like carved, crafted thing, or images, or of wood or stone or metal. But we know today that we don't. I mean, some people might, but generally speaking, the idols that we have today are not necessarily physical, tangible, an object, but is kind of, might be another person, or it might be, more kind of abstract things like money or power or whatever it might be. If we put our trust in those, then we can't really be putting our trust in God. And in just the same way as at the end of time, there will be no room for people like the Babylonians when the earth is filled with the knowledge of the glory of God. If we put our trust in God, there is no room to put our trust in idols, and vice versa. Can only have one. So, question to you and to me is really, where is our trust? Where is our faith? Is it in God? Or is it actually in something else, and we pretend that it's in God, or we lie to ourselves and say that it's in God when really it's in something else? Or genuinely is the place where we put our trust and faith with the big stuff? I'm not saying you can't trust your mum, but with the kind of, in a grand sense, when it comes to our life and how we're going to live it, and whether we're going to be righteous people or not, is our trust and faith genuinely in God and God alone? Because that's the only way that it works. Which is a big ask, potentially. It's not something that you can just say, yeah, it is fine. There's some thought and some prayer to be had. But yeah, it's important that we know the answer, and if the answer is not something that we like, the honest answer, to change it. So yeah, let's pray. Lord, I thank you that we can put our trust in you. And I pray that we make good choices, that we make the right decision, that we do put our trust in you, and that we don't put it elsewhere, that we don't put our trust in other people when it should be in you, that we don't put our trust in power or money or whatever else it may be. Each individual will know what that fill in the box word is there, but that we put it in God, and only in God, and fully in God. And I pray that you will help us to recognise and understand that that is the only way that it works. There's no room for anything else.